about that plucky upstart? Good thing they gave him the rub by winning that Andre the Giant Battle Royal, that plucky upstart Big Show. That was a great decision.
That was great.
That was great having him be second last year and first this year. That's fantastic.
Kenta, got beat in that, and that was fantastic. Let's let Big Show win the armbar.
Or Sandow getting huge cheers as Mizdow, whatever. It's going to be, I guess, worthless every year because with Cesaro they did absolutely nothing with it. They capitalized on his win doing nothing.
They've already proved that it's not worth anything.
And now we'll get to the bigger disappointment was the Sting Triple H match. And I know a lot of you out there are going to say, oh, nostalgia value, it was awesome seeing DX with the NWO. That would have been fine if that's how they built the match and marketed as a battle of NWO versus DX. They built this match as WCW's icon coming to take down the totalitarian regime of Triple H and teaching him a lesson.
And this was my problem. The match itself, for the few moments they got to wrestle,
for the 9 minutes they gave him to wrestle,
was actually not bad.
Sting looked good. Drop kicks still look pretty good.
And Triple H, I think I like Triple H more the older he gets. But this is the fucked up part, and it was just a payoff for spectacle. And honestly, the longer it goes on, the more and more I hate it. You have DX come out for Triple H, right? That makes sense. That makes sense. But then you have the NWO come out for fucking Sting. Sting, who never identified with the NWO, other than the Wolfpack,
which was garbage.
But that was the face side of it, not the black and white.
He never was friendly with Hogan ever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that wasn't a thing that for a year. Was it a year and 3 months? He was assaulting the NWO, hitting Nash and Hall with baseball bats. And then winning the title in a bad fast count that the fucking referee ruined because he was supposed to do a fast count. Anyway, besides that, it was a great moment. It was the peak of WCW in the late 90s, besides Goldberg beating Hogan. But anyway, so they turned what could have been a classic quote-unquote dream match, which on paper it is, even though Triple H isn't anywhere near Sting in terms of legacy. They turned it from a dream match that if they gave it even 20 minutes, had a clean ending, we would have been, okay, this is cool. Thank you for doing that. Into an overbooked match that made no sense thematically, where you had the NWO and DX going at each other.
When in reality, they would have been best buddies.
And they turned it into a masturbatory, wow, we do this Monday Night War show on the network, and they made it all about that when that had nothing to do with the build-up ever. Had nothing to do with the build-up.
My only hope is that Sting and Triple H get a real match at, like, SummerSlam.
No, I don't see that. And it was even worse because they had... First of all, I don't care if you say that Triple H won with the sledgehammer. I knew shit was bad when they announced before the match that was going to be no DQ. I'm like, wait a minute, where's that coming from?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, did they change something in the last minute?
We've got some run-ins.
Yeah, it was never going to be no DQ. It was just going to be a match, right? So then you have run-ins, then you have the sledgehammer.
Because you don't have to say no DQ for a sledgehammer. You can do a sledgehammer shot
secretly,
when the ref's not turn. I mean, we've been watching wrestling for a while, and so have our viewers. I mean, we all know that can be done in a non-DQ match. When they announce non-DQ, you gotta have to go,
weapons.
What the fuck are they planning?
Run-ins and weapons.
Yeah.
So you have Triple H win, not cleanly, use a sledgehammer, whatever. Shakes his hand, which makes no sense, mutual respect. What makes it worse, though, is that, they didn't even address it.
Oh my god, I forgot about the fucking handshake. That part set me off.
That was douche chills, wasn't it? Oh, you're good enough to be in the room with me, Sting. It's like, no, you should be honored, Triple H, that you're with one of the best ever. You know what I mean? So then on Raw, they don't really address it. After Raw, Sting comes out to do an exclusive interview where he basically says, I don't know what's in store for Sting. Whatever the WWE wants to throw at me, then of course the entire crowd chants Undertaker because they want to see Undertaker. But the problem is, it won't matter now, but if they had Sting win his could be only match, it would have been a lot more push towards that Undertaker match next year. Because now it's going to be, well, you lost Triple H, what gives you the right to fight Undertaker?
But
unless Undertaker challenges Sting.
Hey, I don't want to talk about the match because we got to get through this before Q&A because I have to drink a lot of water now because of my medicine. But I do want to say, Bray, Undertaker, just made me so goddamn happy because Undertaker looked healthy. I mean, tell me you saw that.
I watched a little bit of that.
I'm sorry. I don't like people seeing... I don't like seeing people look sick or unhealthy. And last year against Brock, Undertaker looked sickly and unhealthy.
He didn't look in shape. Either I don't know if it was a medical thing, but he didn't look. He looked a little bit better, musculature.
He didn't look in shape, but he also looked sick. He looked pale.
He had more muscle. He had a bigger build on him.
This year, he actually looked really good, and I was happy to see. You know, he was never my favorite wrestler, but I really liked him. It was just nice to see him in good physical fitness, like he had cared. You know.